Connection terminated.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Digimon Gaming here. So I was in today's Carta Magica. I was about to say Magica Carta. For their online regionals for Digimon today, obviously. And it was a pretty interesting experience. I managed to finish the whole tournament. And I got off of work at 6 in the morning, and that tournament started at 8. I have no sleep, and I had to power through the whole thing. So, you know, I was gonna drop out, but it was too late for me to drop out. So I was like, well, I guess I'm playing. I played with Imperialdramon today, and I don't even know. I'm just gonna go through my wins and my loses. So it was 8 rounds, like straight. And my first round was against Wargreymon X, and I just straight up got 2-0'd, and that was not like, you know, encouraging at all. But it happened. And then second round, I got a bye. My opponent like showed up on the table, and then he's like, hey, I've been having internet connection issues since the first round, and I had to give that one up too. So I'm just gonna give you the win on this one too. And I wasn't expecting that at all. So I was just like, oh shit. So I sat around for 40 minutes after that one, or 50 minutes actually. And then third round, I 2-0'd a Grandis player. That was a pretty unfortunate match for him because the game was so quick. Like, we managed to play a whole nother set after that just while we were waiting because the guy was kind of upset. And wouldn't you know it, while we're playing for like fun, he actually 2-0's me back. And he's like, why couldn't this have happened during the fucking tournament? I don't know. You're playing green, bro. I don't know what to tell you. And then that was that. And then fourth round, I went up against Alphamon. I got 2-1. The guy got it. I would have potentially won that game, but I just didn't draw into a rookie. And he had a cool boy, and that just helped him get through. So that was fourth round. And then fifth round, I went up against Garugu X. He also beat me 2-1. I almost won that one as well, but it's just the damn rookie stuff. I don't know what the hell's my rookie situation. I have 15 rookies in this damn deck, and I just didn't have any of them when I needed them. So that was the fifth round. Sixth round, I went up against Beelstarmon. I lost against that one too. It was 2-1. And I almost had the other one, the third game as well, but I didn't have any level 5s in that situation. And then seventh round, I got a bye. My opponent just didn't show up. A lot of people dropped by the third round, which is kind of amazing. And I mean, I didn't want to get buys like that, but I got 2 of them. So I won that one, the 6th round. The 7th round, I mean. I'm sorry. And then the 8th round, I went up against Beelstar again. And that one, I took it. It was 2-1. And it was pretty amazing. I wish I would have recorded these games. But maybe next time. I wanted to focus and play. Didn't want to like worry about recording stuff and stuff like that. The only thing I'm recording is this video. Just to report. Because it was my first regional online. And that was it. It was 8 rounds. I won half of them. And I lost half of them. And I ended up placing 137 out of the 512 players, which is not too bad. I mean, I'm not getting top 8 or anything like that, but, you know, I had fun. The deck did what it was supposed to, I guess. And, yeah, I just want to run through the deck real quick. I definitely should have made some changes. The problem was is when I got my ticket for the regionals, I entered this list, and I just didn't think about BT9, so I, like, completely just fucked around and didn't update it until the last second, and then it was just too late to update it too. So I mean, I potentially just kind of crippled myself in these games, but it's all good. So let's just go through this real quick. I'm definitely gonna make changes for this because next week is a store championship at locals, so I want to make sure I can win this one and get my national invite. So let's just go through this real quick. For the eggs, I'm playing standard eggs, 1 Upa, 4 Demi Vmon. Get your draws from those jammings, and then if there's one without a source underneath, you get the draw anyways. Going to rookies, so I'm playing 15 rookies in here, and yet for some weird reason I just never really saw most of them, only when I needed them, I guess, which is not really helpful. So I'm playing 3 Labramon. The gain of memory when something has jamming on top of this was just really good, and that helped me win some games, honestly. But I think I definitely need to cut this down to 2, because there's just certain cards I want to see other than this. So that was 3 of those. Playing 3 of the EX1 jamming, not jamming, Vmons. Gain of memory when it unsuspends. I hardly ever get this off. So I don't know if I want to keep this in here. I'm supposed to run this card in here because it's a pretty good card for the most part. But I just don't know. This for sure I need to cut down to 2 or even 1 maybe. Jamming Vmon. I was playing 4 of these. They did put in work for me because they have jamming, but that's not enough. So it is what it is. And then last but not least, 4 of the starter deck Vmons. I feel conflicted about this card too. Like, I don't know what it is, but every time I played this card, it would always reveal a Tamer, a Megadeth, and then the 1 free. So I'd be sending like my Megadeths and my Tamers straight to the bottom like early games because of this card. And in one of my games, I actually was able to hard drop 3 of these like in 1 turn basically. And I only ever added 1 card like you're supposed to really, but I was just sending my options and my Tamers to the bottom because of this stuff. And that was really frustrating. So that was the rookies right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm playing 10 champions. Standard stuff. So it's the 4 Stigmons. You know, you need that to go into your Imperialdramon along with this guy. Your Jammer Vmons. X Vmons, I mean. This card also puts in work just like the Vmon with jamming. You just want to swing with it as soon as possible. And then for my last 2 level 4s, I was playing 1 Magnamon and 1 Lydramon. Lydramon was putting in work for me as well. Anytime one of my opponents would drop like a memory blocker, I would just go into Lydramon, suspend it, and then kill it. And then Magnamon for the blocking and the armor purging came in pretty clutch in some of the games against Beelstar. So that was 10 champions. I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 ultimates. Playing the 1 Dino B. I honestly never really got to go into this one, but it's a good card to have in the deck for sure. So I had the 1, or maybe I just went into it once. I don't remember going into it at all, to be honest with you guys, but it is what it is. 4 Imperialdramon. This card, man, against one of the Beelstar players, I hard dropped this card 3 times on the board, and he just kept Kakai's breathing it, and then he would also trump sword it or trump sword something else. So I would just go back to like 4 memory, and I dropped 2 of these in 1 game against an Alphamon player as well, and I would have won had he not had a Cool Boy in the stack, because I was literally one swing away from winning. It's just he got his Alphamon play in, so he got rid of these Imperialdramons when he did. And then last but not least, 2 Chimeras. This card, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like this deck needs it. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't. I might cut it down to 1, but it's just cutting it to 1 sometimes also doesn't help. So I don't know. I have to really think about what I want to do with this card in here, but I either remove it or I don't and put something else in their replacement. And there's things I can definitely replace with. So that was it for the ultimates. We're going to go into megas. We're just playing 2 Imperialdramon Dragon mode and 2 Imperialdramon Fighter mode. That's it. I never went into this in any of my games, which is freaking ridiculous. Like, it happens. You don't really need to go into these cards, but sometimes you do. And when the chances that I had a chance to go into them, I could never go into them because it was either I go into them and lose faster, or I just don't go into them at all. And my best option was not to go into them. I was putting in work with the Imperialdramons and the Vmons. So that was it for the Digimon. I'm going to Tamers. I'm playing the 2 Davis. I don't feel like I need 3 in here. 2's fine. It's a memory fixer. And then I'm playing 3 Davis and Ken. This card also, I hardly ever used it unless it was in a stack, and it just happened to be in a stack. This card's good. It's just, I don't know. I think a Mimi would have helped because I would get to my level 5s pretty quickly, and you know, I could have hatched the egg and kept, you know, promoting and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Let's do those. That's it for my Tamers. I'm only playing 5. I'm going to options now. So in options, I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 options. So first 2, we're playing 2 offensive plug-in A. This card is one of the main reasons I was winning some of my games. I just gave this to on top of my Imperialdramon, and he'd be swinging for 4 basically, essentially. Well, he was swinging for 4. So one of my games against the Metal Garurumon X player, in the first game, actually, I managed to go into Imperialdramon first turn, and then on my first play, I guess, and then the next turn I activated this, and then I swung for 4 and just completely wrecked his stack. Playing 1 Hidden Potential Discovered. This card actually came in pretty helpful for some of the games, obviously. I used this to go into Dino Beamon, which is ridiculous. But, you know, I had to do it. Playing 4 Hammer Spark. After I was playing one of the players, he was asking me how many Hammer Sparks I run. And I told him I run all 4. He tells me to run 2 because the Ken and Davis Tamer make up for the other 2. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This card's at 4. I actually was able to win several games. Most of my games were wins because of this card as well, because it was in the stack and it just potentially ended their turn faster. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep this at 4 because it's at 4 still. So why wouldn't you keep this at 4? Playing 1 Ice Wall. This card came in so clutch for me against the last Beostar game because I kept choking him to 1, and then with this, they just let me keep doing that when I activated it, because he could have potentially beaten me, but thanks to that card, he didn't. And then last but not least, we're playing 2 Megadeth. This card, I love this card. I just hate that I never get to play it in this deck. I just kept sending it straight to the bottom with the Vmons, and it's not ideal at all, you know? Even in my first turn, I was remember telling the guy, well, there goes 1 Megadeth straight to the bottom. And he's like, well, he's like, how many do you run? I'm like, 2. He's like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah. So that was it, you guys. I really had fun doing this. I was super tired. I was supposed to go to locals right after this tournament because it ended at 4 and my local starts at 6. I took an hour nap because I hadn't slept. I had worked all night. Like I said, I got off of work at 6 and didn't even sleep at all or anything before the tournament. So yeah, hopefully next time around I'll do better. Hopefully I will. And next week there's a store championship at locals again, so I'm gonna try and get my invite for Nats again. And I will be playing D Reaper for next week. So this time around I entered with Imperialdramon for these regionals. So yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys later.